Pope Francis is celebrating an outdoor mass with millions of people in the Philippine capital Manila. An estimated 3 million people had already gathered at Rizal Park 2 hours before the mass began. 20 years ago, more than 5 million people attended a mass celebrated here by Pope John Paul II. The Vatican said Pope Francis would dedicate the service in part to the victims of Typhoon Haiyan, which devastated the country in 2013. The Mass will be the Pope's final full day in the Philippines, where there are 80 million Catholics, concluding his 6-day tour of Asia. Pope Francis arrived in a popemobile based on the design of the local minibuses, known as jeepneys. Crowds sang and cheered as the Pope stopped at various points to greet worshippers. Some people had camped outside the park overnight to be the first ones admitted when the gates opened early on Sunday morning. "We are devotees of the Pope," Bernie Nacario told AFP news agency among the crowds in Manila. "The Pope is an instrument of the Lord, and if you are able to communicate with him, it is just like talking to God himself." Crowds of worshippers had to be held back by police before the final Mass. The Pope held morning meetings with religious leaders and young people at the University of Santo Tomas, which is the biggest Catholic university in Asia. Pope Francis opened his meeting with over 20,000 students by remembering the 27-year-old woman who had died during his visit to Tacloban. Earlier, police had reported that she had been killed when scaffolding collapsed after Saturday's Mass. The Pope then listened to several children speak about their experiences of growing up on the streets. One of the children, 12-year-old Rizal Park, wept as she told her story and asked why God had allowed it to happen. A visibly moved Pope Francis replied, "Only when we are able to cry are we able to come close to responding to your question.